Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Edgell, and today what I want to do is go over a couple of the upcoming discussion board assignments for your GGY 2000 Cultural Geography online asynchronous. We're online asynchronous, so I don't know what time of day you're getting this message. All right, here's a couple things. Let's see. I'm going to go from announcements. I'm going to move over to discussions. There hasn't been a lot of questions in the Ask Dr. Edgell forum. That's okay. And hopefully, if you're having technical problems, you'll know to contact McGraw-Hill. The icebreaker seemed like that went pretty well. And the map projections discussion, most students had never heard of map projections before, so that went well. There is another one that's set to come on Monday, September 19th, and that's the geography of popular culture. Now, we haven't had a discussion board for a while, and I wanted to open one up that you could work on over the coming few weeks. It wouldn't have to match up with a particular chapter of a particular week, but we are coming up on some of these things in culture. So let's see, let's open up this. What am I asking you to do for this geography of pop culture posted report on the discussion board? Now, I've done a similar type of exercise in some of my other classes. North America, we usually have a geography of popular culture exercise, and other times cultural geography as well. Let's see. What are the directions? Is there a geography to popular culture? Sure there is. And I'll be giving you some notes on that at a later time. What I want you to do is this. In order to try to make geography more meaningful to you, I want you to choose a song, a novel, a film, where geography adds a significant part of meaning and interpretation to it. So hopefully this will be enjoyable for you to do. Books, novels, and other speculative fiction often have a setting. They occur in a place. Well, did the author get the geography right in those? Or did the novel, did it bring the geography to life? Or nonfiction reading, did they describe the geography well and so forth? So the popular books, the bestseller books, and the books you may have read in high school, sometimes there's a geography to those. What seems to be popular with some students is that talking about the references to geography in popular songs. Sometimes a song can express things in a way that the written word or books can't do. Sometimes a song, either a traditional or modern one, covers a geographic concept. Again, sometimes these songs are associated with a particular place, particular region, maybe a particular issue. All right, I'll let you go ahead and read that over. Choose a song that has meaning to you. The directions tell us, well, tell us the name of the song, who wrote it, date, and what would be good on that article is to include the song lyrics as part of your article. And then you can talk about the meaning of it. Even better, if there's a YouTube video for the song that helps to flesh that out, that's also good. And speaking of video, how about film? Sometimes the geography in the film is, again, it's part of the place setting, it's part of the character of the film. So sometimes a place or a location uh, figures prominently in a movie. Okay, so with this, choose some aspect of popular culture. Other things could also be utilized. For example, famous paintings. You could talk about the atmosphere or the landscape in such a way as to make it meaningful. I've even had a student show me a game map. There's a game map that's based on a real place and talk about the geography in that. music videos, poetry as well. So some aspect of popular culture, literature, art, film, popular song is what you want to choose. And choose something that's meaningful to you, and importantly, there has to be a geography to it. All right, you'll have to explain that one way or the other. How much do you have to write about it? Well, you might want to write a lot about this, but I'm thinking that a minimum of 250 words or 1 page. But that wouldn't include the various links and images, direct quotations if you're quoting out of a book. I'm not considering that to be part of the 250. All right, so this shouldn't be all that difficult. Maybe it's not the icebreaker. It's not as easy as doing the icebreaker. It's a little bit more difficult than doing the map projections video. So I'm going to say a 4 out of 5. Now, if you'd like to see some example of a song analysis, here's a link to one of the student blogs that I used back in my North America class. I'm just going to click on that here. Hopefully we won't get a lot of pop-up ads. Close and accept the cookies. Okay, so Stephen, uh, he wrote about the Boston band called the Dropkick Murphys, and so he talked about them and a particular song that they had that brought character to about what it was like to be a member of the working class in Boston. And so he wrote about the relevance of that. All right, so that's a good example of popular culture, popular song, and you're talking about a place, a geographic aspect of it. Okay, I'll go ahead and click out of that. And also, I have my teaching blog. I think I had a link in the chapter 1 material for my personal teaching blog, which I don't use too much for cultural geography. In the North America class, we do a lot more with blogging. But I did want to show you one that I did, and you can take a look at it here. Again, it's down in these extra links here from my teaching blog. And there's a song called Ceilings Unlimited, which is a meteorological term, but there's an artistic expression behind what that meaning is. And part of the song is about making a transect across Canada. So you can take a look at that if you like. And I do have some other articles about the geography of popular culture on my personal blog. You can take a look at that at some time or another. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. So that's the geography of popular culture post. I look forward to seeing that. There's a due date on this, I believe. Go back to the discussions. All right, so this one is going to open up on Monday, September 19th, but it's not due until October 10th. So that's the week leading up to midterms. The only thing that you have to do that week is make this post by then and then take the midterm, and that's a short week for us. There's also some other discussion boards coming up. And I haven't come up with all of them, but there'll be another special topic discussion board. I'm still working on that. But one that I posted actually during the first week of classes was the discussion board, the photo contest, the cultural geography photo contest. So this has been an ongoing assignment. So far, no one's posted to it, and that's okay. It's not due until the last week of classes, but it's something that you could do when you get the other work, the homework and the quiz done for the week. And also, this is another one that I think that's fun to do. I often use this assignment in my freshman level general education geography, where we do a photo contest. All right, let me read over the rules, make sure that you know. I think that you would probably be able to understand that, but just in case. The cultural geography photo contest. What you need to do is you need to take a photograph of something that you think is geographic, or that says this is an example of cultural geography. Now, you'll probably use your smartphones because that's how most photography is done. It has to be your original photo, something that you took, all right, not clipped from, Google search or Bing images. It's something that you considered this semester. Okay, and so what you're going to do, obviously there's landscapes you could do, perhaps a theme and man-environment relationships, cultural ecology, or the spread of things, the spread of ethnic restaurants or something like that that reflect the migrant diffusion waves as well. All right, so you'll have to explain. You have to take a picture and then you'll have to explain it. I have all the directions down here. Hopefully this is clear. If it's not clear, ask a question in the Ask Dr. Edgell forum. So here's what you need to do. So you need to take the photo, you're going to write an explanation. You should have a small inset map of the photo's location. It's very easy to use Google Maps or something like that and put a locator map of where this is. All right, and then you'll think of a good title for it. And then what I want you to do is arrange your name, title, photo, and your write-up and the caption all on a 4-slide PowerPoint slideshow. Now this is important. It has to be a PowerPoint. Okay, if you're having problems using PowerPoint, contact me. But some of these other programs and Apple products and so forth, I might not be able to read it. So if you're going to use some of those things, that's fine. But you're going to have to transfer it into a PowerPoint slideshow. All right. Ask me about that if you have questions. Okay, so what's the first slide? That's the title slide. It'll have your name on there and the title. And then the next slide is mainly for the photograph. Now the photograph is the main portion of this. That'll take up most of the room on the slide. All right, now only one photo is going to be graded. And then the third slide is the description. One way to think about the description is, in your textbook, how they have the figure captions, right, that tell you what you're supposed to see in the photo, the image, the graph. So write that up for the third slide. I'm thinking that this will be something, 100 to 250 words. Um, not too much text. If it's too much text, make another slide. But it's got to be something that's readable. Say if you're in a classroom, would the text be large enough to read? All right. On the other hand, it's best to be economical with your text. All right, and then the fourth slide would be any references that you use. Here's where you can put that inset locational map that says this is where it was on Google Maps or some other mapping software. All right, and then also list any references that you utilized. If you looked up about that topic, or it can be websites, but you have to have a reference that would describe that. All right, so that's a 4-slide PowerPoint slideshow. Again, if PowerPoint is an issue with you, or I can probably help you with that, or you could convert it. Now, when you save your file and you post it onto the discussion board, what you can do is you can make sure you put your name in as part of the PowerPoint file name. For example, here it has GGY 2000, so I know it is John Smith, tobacco barn photos. Okay, and so I know what that is. Because you know what happens a lot of the time when students post something, they call it geography or something like that. And I want to make sure that your name is part of the file for sorting these out. Now, this is a discussion board, so when students start posting, you're supposed to read. Every student should read, and every student should make a comment on most of them, especially some of the early ones. All right, now you have to post in order to make comments first. All right, so this will also, we'll get some discussion going. You'll see some ideas flowing on this. Again, if you have questions, you can put a like on it as well. I wonder who's going to get the most likes on this one. If you have questions, you can send me an email if you want to, or you can put it up on the Ask Dr. Edgell forum above. All right, of course, you can call me during my office hours, send me an email, Canvas message as well. Some other warnings, I guess, or caveats on this. If you're taking pictures, make sure that you're doing it safely, legally, and polite. If you're taking pictures of people, you have to get their permission first. Okay, so this is your chance to tell your cultural geography story. Now, one other thing about this. I may use your photos and some of your work as part of my research and course development. I may share these with other professors. Now, you'll only be identified by your first name, okay? All right. And then the winners' names will be announced in Canvas. So we'll give the winner a little bit of a bump up on the score on this. Difficulty rating, I understand making a PowerPoint, that's a little more difficult. So the difficult rating is a 5 out of 5. However, I'm going to tell you that the fun factor is a 10. Okay. Also, if you're interested in the photo contest that my principles of geography students did, they weren't doing as an advanced one that you are, but I have some examples here listed on these links to my personal teaching blog. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about the discussion board that's coming up. I'm hoping that you can find these fun to do, gives you something to do, because otherwise all you're doing is, reading the textbook, answering questions and then taking a quiz and so forth. And also, if you want to set up a WebEx and want to talk about this, that's also good. I'd be happy to do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and I look forward to your comments on these and your posts coming up. Let me go ahead and stop that.